You may ask yourself why the Blue Mountains are called the Blue Mountains. Well, some people believe it's caused by the eucalyptus forest, which also seem blue. In fact, however, it's caused by the scattering of sunlight by small particles in our atmosphere. That's the same effect that makes our sky shine blue as well. For the first colonists, the Blue Mountains represented an unsurmountable obstacle on their expeditions to the west. In 1813, however, some explorers discovered a way through the wilderness, which is now known as the Great Western Highway. The Blue Mountains National Park was only established in September 1959, but the mountains themselves are an estimated 470 million years old, making them 10 times older than the Great Canyon in the United States. In 2000, the Blue Mountains National Park became part of Australia's World Heritage, and its closeness to city makes it a perfect day trip to escape the busy city and find some calmness in nature. Oscar will now tell you more about the geographical feature that the national park has to offer.
We're now going to take a quick look at the different areas of the park. There are 6 different areas of the Blue Mountain National Park.
Katoomba area is the heart of the park. Here you can see the iconic Three Sisters among other great views along the trail. Number 2. Blackheath area has some of the best known views in the park. Here we can go cliff walking or explore the nature deep into the valley. Number 3. Glenbrook area might be the favorite nature escape for families, locals and day trippers from Sydney due to the easy access from the city. Here you can have a picnic or pitch your tent. You can also find natural swimming spots and Aboriginal rock art in this area. Number 4. Lower Grouse Valley area can offer crowd-free nature escapes with walks and mountain bike trails. This area gives you the opportunity to explore beautiful wildlife and is especially good for bird spotting. Family-friendly walks to 3 beautiful waterfalls can also be found in this area. Number 5. Mount Wilson area is the remote corner of the Blue Mountain National Park, where you can breathe in fresh air and explore canyons and wilderness by walking or mountain biking. Number 6. Southern Blue Mountain area. The best way to explore this area is by car. Stop to set up a camp, have a picnic and explore the nature around you.
The most common tree in the Blue Mountain National Park is eucalyptus. Eucalyptus trees has evolved there for over millions of years, and there's especially one animal, probably the most dangerous animal in the Blue Mountains, that only eats from eucalyptus trees. Guess which one?
Eucalyptus trees are native to Australia and Indonesia, but are grown in many countries around the world. While there are almost 100 different species in the Blue Mountains National Park, koalas only eat the leaves of a very small number of them. Therefore, it is important to protect the eucalyptus forest and ensure that koalas have enough food available.
The Blue Mountains are the home to over 400 different types of animals. We are now going to take a look at some of them who we found interesting. The first category provides you with some information if you should encounter one. We are talking about the 3 most common snakes in the Blue Mountains. The eastern brown snake is one of the most dangerous snakes found in the Blue Mountains. Like all snakes, the brown snake will only attack if it feels threatened, such as being accidentally trodden on or approached too closely. However, the brown snake is probably the most frequently encountered snake around and also a bit bad-tempered. So if you see one, keep calm and slowly back away. Red-bellied black snake This species is typically found near water. This snake is black with a red underbelly and quite venomous. Therefore, you should keep an eye out for this snake if you swim within the Blue Mountains on a sunny day. The diamond python. This snake is not venomous but can still hurt if bitten. The colors and pattern can be different on each creature: dark black to green colors, white and yellow spots on top, and white underbelly. It's found in bushes, tall grassland, and even trees.
Another animal that could be found in the Blue Mountains are the kangaroos and wallabies. The main difference between a kangaroo and a wallaby is the size. A kangaroo is much larger than a wallaby, and if you are lucky enough to spot an animal like a koala or a kangaroo, it's important to remember that they are wild animals and not pets. Therefore, you should not approach them too closely and definitely not try to pet them.
The IUCN, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, has outlined some of the major environmental threats that the Blue Mountains National Park faces. The most pressing issues that the park faces include climate change and bushfires. These issues are categorized as very high threats by the IUCN. Climate change is constantly affecting the Blue Mountains ecology because of rising temperatures and rainfall variations. Climate change also facilitates an environment that is favorable for bushfires to flourish. Bushfires threaten the habitats and lives of the Blue Mountains ecology and landscape. In 2020, there were significant blazes in the Blue Mountains that affected 71% of the Blue Mountains. In the IUCN's previous two reports in 2014 and 2017, they rated the Blue Mountains as good with some concerns. More recently, the report has been downgraded to significant concern. This trend is significantly concerning. The effects of climate change grow more apparent each day. Just a couple of years ago, the Blue Mountains were declared as a national disaster area due to severe weather events that caused heavy rainfall. This rainfall caused landslips, flooding, and destruction of habitats. The state government raised the Warragamba Dam by 17 meters. This had a significant effect on the local wildlife and wilderness. The vast streams and rivers of the Blue Mountains have fallen prey to the outdated sewage systems of the city of the Blue Mountains. Mining and quarrying are also persistent threats in the Blue Mountains. The pollutants have entered the ecosystem and into important waterways like the Wollongombe River. Invasive plant species are another issue, classified under high threat. Some of these include foxes, feral cats, and horses. If bad actors in mining and quarrying are irresponsible in this area, it will end up like Clarence Colliery, who was prosecuted after 2,000 tons of coal material spilled into the Wollongombe River. Prosecution on top of EPA standards has led the way for progress. Greater than 95% reduction in zinc concentration in mine waste. These issues are being addressed by a variety of groups, especially the National Parks Service. They perform joint efforts with local partners like the Blue Mountain City Council to conserve the biodiversity of rare species like the dwarf mountain pine. Fire research, hazard reduction, and weather pattern tracking are some of the tools that the National Parks and Wildlife Service, or NPWS, uses to manage bushfires should they arise. Geoconservation efforts and research are also a vital tool used by the NPWS to protect the beautiful landscapes and geology of the Blue Mountains National Park. The effects of visitation and climate change are constantly monitored by NPWS officers to help preserve the delicate ecosystems of the Blue Mountains.
In the matter of native versus introduced species, native species are species that originated in the Blue Mountains, and introduced species are those that were brought to the Blue Mountains by humans, either on purpose or accidentally. A reduction in the prevalence of reduced species is important work done by NPWS officers because it helps protect water quality, native plant, and animal biodiversity.